All right, so check this word out that the Lord gave me. Look, as Christians, we walk by faith, not by sight, right? It's a faith walk. Many of us are believing God and his promises, and it's taking longer than we expect. Look at Abraham. Look how many years he had to wait. He was a friend of God. God called him a friend. The only man in the Bible that God calls his friend. And God gave him a promise of his seed, that he would have a seed. And already Sarah and Abraham were well past the age of having children. And, Sarah laughed at it like, yeah, right, how could I have a kid, right? So it was already extremely unlikely. Then decades passed. So Abraham said, well, maybe God needs a little bit of help. So that's where he had Ishmael. But so it's not uncommon that you should have to wait for promises of God to be fulfilled. God's doing something. He's working on you. And as we believe, here's the punchline. Here, I'm going to land this plane right here. Here's the punchline. And I got my prop down here. I'm about to show you. When we believe, in between your belief, here's my prop. Look at this. In between your belief is a lie. There is a lie in the middle of your belief. So are you going to believe the promises of God, or are you going to believe the lie? Look at that. I saw that this morning. It was like, there is a lie in the middle of what you're believing for. Abraham believed the lie. God needs a little help. Well, maybe I'll just help God out. Maybe it wasn't going to happen like God said it was going to happen. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe I don't have enough resources. Maybe God doesn't have that right person for me. Maybe I'll just settle for this other person. It's better than being alone. Those are lies. All that stuff is a lie. Maybe this is the best God has for me. Maybe I misheard him. You stand strong on the promises of God. You stand strong on what you believe in. Abraham, the friend of God, who had face-to-face encounters with him, his angels, still had to wait far past what he could have possibly imagined. But guess what? He who promised is faithful, and he did do it. And Isaac was born. So as you believe in God for the things that he promised you, the things that his word says, make sure that you believe God and don't believe the lie. Oh, look at that. There's a lie in the middle of everything you're believing for. Don't believe it. Believe God. Believe his promises. And you will obtain what God has promised you. That's my hopefully encouraging word. As we walk this life in the natural, we walk it by faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. So hold fast to what you're believing for. Hold fast to God's word and God's promises. And do not believe the lie that the enemy wants you to come into agreement with. All right? Hope that helps.